Good morning, welcome to the Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday the 4th of June. So starting off with the euro dollar as ever, and well, we put in the end on a reversal week pattern there, so potential reversal pattern there. We've come back into this trend line, found some support for now at least, and well, it bounced pretty well. Now I'm still looking at the potential for it to run up towards that monthly pivot, not far above us there. Consolidating it, I guess, to a degree to where it is. It's a bitty old day on Friday with the non-farms coming out of there, but not a significant change of story there. In the end, it didn't continue selling off. It managed to catch a bounce, and there's too much indecisiveness in these markets really at the moment with the possible trade wars, etc., and it's making it quite bitty. So where with the euro? At the moment it's had a little push up this morning, early hours, already through the daily pivot. The weekly pivot's below us, which is always at you got a monthly above, the weekly below. They've both got a reasonable draw, so it's a case of really checking out how it runs this morning. If it starts breaking back below the 34, maybe even the daily pivot with the weekly pivot becomes a target for us maybe. However, if we start seeing some consolidation and a move to the upside where we've got the R1 above us, but then really looking, as I say, towards that monthly pivot, maybe over a day or so that may take. But there we are. That's where we are with the euro. With the pound, let's have a look, come out here, the pound. Well, the pound managed to end up closed on a positive day on Friday. And, well, it's starting edging up already this morning, maybe getting a tad on the... well, maybe I've got a tad over the overbought situations through the Asian session, but it's selling off again. Well, here we've got the daily and weekly below us, and well, still got that monthly pivot above us, and we're edging closer to that monthly pivot all the time. Any significant sell-off this morning would obviously run us back down towards the daily weeklies. I'm keen on them because of the probability of them being hit, particularly the dailies and the weekly. Well, both of them early week. They're often a good signal. So watching it carefully to see if we get a breakdown. It's a bit hard on a trend because of this horrible spike that we saw obviously on Friday. Let's just switch this to a 60-minute chart. Sometimes it just clears it up a little bit better, not significantly. So really, give me a better trend line. There we go. So, oops, let's pop it on across the low. Ooh, okay, I'll take that one. Let's pop that trend line on there. Well, actually, you can use that with a spike. That's fine. And it looks like we're just possibly finding a bit of a purchase off it at the moment and a bit of a bounce off there. If it starts breaking below that area, well, as I say, become a bit more bearish and maybe look to trade it back towards that daily pivot. So, but at the moment, erring more bullishness. Dollar yen. Dollar yen. Seen a bounce on Friday, possibly a bit of continuation through today. It's a bit choppy as it sits on this 4 hourlies with last week's, and again, well, in this case, we've got the weekly pivot below us as well. Already through its monthly pivot now, but it's got its daily and weekly below, and again I would be looking to see if we saw some sort of sell-off for these to be sort of targeted. They need to sort of trigger their way first. With the euro and pound possibly pushing up, I'd like to see the dollar yen coming off, of course, but at the moment it seems to be going with the pound effectively, also than the euro, which has stalled a bit. But yeah, and we really need to see a break to the downside. For the upside, well, it's pretty open on the. It really needs to come back to these bigger sort of time frames. Maybe that hourly, 4 hourly 100 may stall things a little bit, along with that daily 200. So that may be the stalling point if it does start pushing up there. Okay, Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar, apparently there was some good retail sales overnight and it's given it a bit of a kicker here. You can see already just pushed up there and looking relatively solid on the 4 hourlies. maybe a little bit too quick up there, but we'll see if the rest of the markets continue with them, if they can get that upward momentum against the dollar, or maybe we'll see a sort of continuation with the Aussie dollar. Not my favourite to be trading intraday. As much as I said so many times, it's more for me. I would look at it more of a swing currency. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Well, it's just really, I mean, last month it spent most of its time chopping around, and it looked like it was going to pull out and do some decent upside, and then all of a sudden it's back into that range, and at the moment looking like it may sell back off again. Monthly pivot not too far below, which would be a fair target. It's not too far away from that at the moment at all. So it's what talking about 10 or so, but it's not much at all. It's a bit more than 10. Was it 31, 20, 11 pips? It's hardly anything, but it's barely moving any significant direction, distance anyway. A bitty old pair. Just caught the daily there, through the weekly, and it's got the monthly still just below it, which I mean, it just pretty sums it all up when all three pivots are so close together here. So one to keep away from really for me at the moment. Okay, that's pretty much that. In terms of news today, well, we've already seen the Aussie retail sales out. There's little until we got the construction PMI. We start getting those figures out this morning. So construction PMI, it's the lesser of the three PMI figures that come out for the UK. That's at 9:30. May still see a bit of volatility if it picks up a little bit. Side of that, we got nothing at all. We got an MPC member speaking at 6 p.m. this evening, so due to speak at the University of Surrey. I don't think we'll see a lot of volatility there at 6 p.m. anyway. Right, that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.